That hurt.
Then what is this thing?
Gio should never play for U.S. men's national team again because of the action of his parents.
What an idiot! Oh!
What type of Muppet does this?
It's Muppets. Absolute Muppets.
I'm not going to be the best person to give a whole explanation here, but that's...
Booty! Sick! Booty!
Fucking deal with it. What are we really doing?
Yeah, I can agree with that. A zebra in between a tarantula and an elephant.
Has been nothing more than a sham.
Yeah, we didn't play well, but you know what? At the end of the day, we got the job done.
It's going to be a good time for sure.
Oh, sex with the first cousin would indeed be incest. And
but not with your stepsister. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. We are back. It is freezing as hell out here right now. We're lucky to still have our little garber nuts because we are currently at 5 degrees, and last night it got down to -7 or 6.
Somewhere -6, yeah, -6, and it's 10 degrees warmer, man. Go outside now.
I think it would be fine if you used that background to represent Indiana right now, except for we don't exactly have mountains that high.
No, we don't have this? This is at Fort Bend, Eric. Come on.
Nope. I'm sorry. I mean, what's the highest point in southern Indiana? The hill they used to ski down in Brown County?
Paoli? Not Brown County, no. That's over in...
No, Brown County used to have a little Brown County ski resort.
Did they did?
Really? Yeah, they did back in the 90s.
I only knew of Paoli Peaks and the place over by fucking Ohio. I'm not sure what the place is called now.
Yeah, no, there was one in Brown County. A lot of my friends would go skiing there.
Back in the day when we used to get snow here.
Yeah, it's there still. It's just abandoned. It's been abandoned since I think the late 90s, like 99 is when it shut down. But it was there for years. Sure. But yeah, so it's colder than Winch's titty today. Yes, we've already discussed that saying that I learned here in the United States, mostly in Indiana, but apparently they say it all over the place. Brown County, racist. Okay. Well, then, way to kick it off, BMR. Make sure that you like and subscribe, by the way. We're only a hair away from being at 3.1? We're not that far off.
Yeah.
We just need a little help. So get us over the edge. Make sure you like and subscribe. Especially if you hear that's going to help us with the
back to you. Sorry, Turk. Okay. Come back to you in a sec.
That's going to help us with the YouTube algos. Kevin Paulette, one of our regulars, says Valpo used to have a ski arena, but it's closed. Not surprising. Perfect North Slope near Cincy in Indiana, though. Yeah.
Perfect North was one over by Ohio. Paoli down in Paoli.
I don't know if you could actually count that as a mountain, what was in Brown County. It was a big hill, right?
It was a hill. No, yeah. We have no mountains in Indiana.
Right. You would ski down it. It'd take you two minutes, and then you'd have to be going back up again.
We've got light hiking here in Indiana. That's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. But who wants to climb fucking mountains anyhow?
Yeah,
fuck that shit. God damn it, green boots. The turd in the background says, "Everyone gather around. It's time for another Straight Red Card. The only soccer show where incest is discussed more than soccer. Speaking of unseat, my wife fucked her stepbrother last night." Yeah, that's... I think he meant speaking of incest.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really technically incest, though. It really isn't a turd. My wife is...
Wait, hold on. What was it? My wife... my stepbrother?
No, her stepbrother. It was her stepbrother.
Yeah, it was her stepbrother. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, when we're talking about and giving advice to people on what incest is and is not, Brett, you got to pay attention, dude. Because technicalities.
Well, that's why I was saying, did he say his stepbrother? Because then that would just be fucking another dude.
All right. The turd in the background. My wife is snorting some snow of a bloke's shaft. On a bloke's shaft? Off a bloke's shaft. Yeah. Well, depending on how long the shaft is, he may or may not get very high. But it is snow, and I'm guessing you're being metaphoric there, so it's probably blow. All right. And That's one thing about blow, man. And I'm not condoning the use of it or whatever. It's on you guys. But, man, that shit wakes you up. If you've been partying all night and you're like, man, I'm on my last leg. Woo! Bam! You wake the fuck up real fast and you feel like Superman. You're like, another beer, man. Give me another beer. Then you wake up not the next day necessarily, because you're still wide awake by the next day. But when you finally do get some sleep and then you wake up, you feel like a fucking truck ran over you because you've been up for 18, 24 hours. It's ridiculous. So, got to know the pros and cons. By the way, someone asked me the other day, if you had a chance to do it all over again, would you do it? Your life. And I thought, no, not really. I really wouldn't want to do that all over again because it was a lot of work. And I know, even though...
Alternative death?
What?
So what's the alternative death?
I don't know. I just don't want to relive my life all over again. You could make different decisions and all that. What would you do differently? I'm fine with the way it all turned out. And, there's no way I'm going to stop myself from getting uglier and older. That's just going to happen. So even if I did go back, I'm still going to end up here, right?
I don't know, Derek. Brando really hit it off. I mean, you may have had money for plastic, so
maybe, but I can't really figure out a way to make Brando a major thing. Number one. Number two, I think if I came back, I'd be a lot lazier, Brett. All that work that we did for Indy 11, getting the team started, and then how much credit in the end did we really get? Not a whole lot.
A little bit, right?
Did we benefit in that in some way other than getting a team that we no longer really go to any of the games? I went to one this season, but it's not like I'm watching every game. So, did that work out? Did BRI, my Bloomington Restorations, would I spent 10 years as president trying to stop them from tearing down buildings in Bloomington, historic buildings? Guess what? They tore them all down anyhow. That was a big waste of my time, right? So if I could go back, there are things I probably would be more choosy about. But wasting my time at.
But you can roll out your resume in that sense, right? You can say dude, I'm a musician, I'm an author, I brought a fucking team to Indiana. People are like, wow, you've really lived a life, and I've effed X amount of girls in my lifetime. So
that would be one thing I would improve on. I would probably try to double the number. Now, that might mean my dick would fall off. So maybe I did just about the right amount.
Be careful then, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Ev Osama got fired last week. Is a straight red card hiring? Yeah, sorry, man, we aren't hiring.
Are we being paid for this?
Yeah, we don't really get paid for this at all. The money that we do get from you guys, we spend on things like new mics.
My camera.
New cameras.
This mountain home I live in.
It all goes back into what we're doing. So we do appreciate when you do super chat. Trust me, because we're not going to get paid for this video because we don't monetize these videos anymore because we figured out because we say fuck too much.
I was going to say, would you guys really like it if we stopped talking about strippers, incest, and say fuck all the time?
Yeah, I would not.
Our show would go from the 3-hour show down to 15 minutes. If we cut it all out.
True. All right. So, let's get to some other things that on our minds, Brett.
Speaking of strippers, how often do I get to say that? I guess on this show pretty often, but still.
Yeah, not as much as it was when you were in college. All right. Miami stripper arrested for squirting vaginal fluids at police officers in self-defense. What? How do you squirt vaginal fluids? This isn't a porn video. That just doesn't come out on command.
Maybe she's good at what she does.
It's what? Probably piss? How do you squirt vaginal fluids?
It's not quite piss. No. There's a different molecular structure, I guess. Whatever gunk is in it, but yes, you can in fact squirt.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it. All right, but I think in the porn videos, often it's just pee, right? They're
nice.
Peeing.
Alex has it. It's the new mace.
I guess so.
It's in my eyes.
Oh, Chris Gary, thank you for sharing this with Brett. I'm not sure what to say about this because A, you can't really do that on command, and B, Like, how far is that going to shoot? You know,
we talked about the Kinsey Institute before on the show.
Sure.
You remember the movie? They did a movie about it, right? And I've talked about this on the show before, but there's a guy in the movie, and I'm sure this actually happened. But there's a guy in the movie that tells Liam Neeson that he can go from limp to ejaculate in like 10 seconds. He goes, that's physically impossible. So he whips it out and starts doing it. Liam sat there and timed him the entire time. So maybe that's what you did. Get away from me. Get away from me.
No. But and then the other problem is aim. That's
a big problem, right?
Aiming is a real difficult thing for women to do. So what's she going to do? A backwards handstand?
I don't know. Strippers have like ping pong ball shows all the time. I mean, imagine she's been practicing.
I mean, she could climb up the pole, right? And as she's spinning down with her legs spread, just be squirting all over the officers around her.
I do like some break dancing, spinning on her head.
Yeah, I know. I'm calling bullshit on this report.
Well, I mean, all the cops have to do is sit there and wait, right?
Well, yeah, and stay away from her vaginal area. I mean, what are they doing close to her vaginal area anyhow, even if they're trying to arrest her? But it sounds like they arrested her for squirting vaginal fluids at police. And I would say in some cases, if they're at the strip club, that's what a lot of people are come there for. And when I say come, I mean C-O-M-E. C-O-M-E. All
so
right.
Why you come there?
I don't get it, dude. This is just one of those weird things. I'd like more detail. Or do I? I'm not sure. But I don't believe it. Let's put it that way. Pretty sick, Brett.
Well, yeah. It's Florida. What do you expect?
I mean, you do want
to. Maybe she collects it in a bottle?
That's another option, but
the expert said into a squirt gun.
Squirt gun? Yeah. Or she could just, have a bucket she's got on stage with her.
First couple rows are
she's like the stripper Gallagher. Yeah. But no hammers necessary. Yeah. They covered with the plastic shit. Yeah, pretty gross.
Yeah.
Way to go. All right. Yeah. What else we got?
Well, we had last show, we had talked about Juventus and their performance, and mainly Weston's performance.
Yes.
And how he had a certain nickname come up for him.
The Pirlo thing? Pirlo?
Yeah. Weston Pirlo?
Weston Pirlo. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, going back through time, though, I found out that Max, at least the earliest I could find was Max was the one who coined it.
Max Bretos?
Yeah, I saw it. It was a couple hours before our show.
Before our show? Before we said it on our show? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Our chat ran rampant with it. It's a great nickname, right? With how well he's playing?
I'd say great minds, but then, again, I haven't been asking for McKennie, Pulisic, and whomever to come and play in MLS. No offense, Max. I just called you out on that on X. So hopefully you don't take it personally.
I think it was Pulisic that called him out. Not by name, though.
Right. Indirectly. But, yeah, just a little busting your balls there, Max, because when you say things like that, I gotta say something.
Umar, for the first year and a half, I believe, Pirlo was his manager. He brought him there.
Right. So, I mean, listen, Pirlo wishes he could move ever in his career as fast and jump as high. But one thing Pirlo could do is hit a motherfucker on the dime.
You know what? Thank goodness for technology. We live in a time where we can merge the players together and they become one.
I don't want to see that. Oh no! Oh no! I say I did not want to see that, and I was right. I do not want to see that. Wow.
That's a pretty good Photoshop job there.
I cannot unsee that. Yikes.
Oh man.
Okay.
Well, we're lucky to have somebody with his long ball precision with Weston's work rate. It's the best of both worlds.
It is. I mean, there are things. Well, once Weston starts scoring, now that's a whole nother level, right? And not criticizing for him not scoring, but he's missed a few sitters this season. He'll get them in. He'll get one in soon. It'll all come to an end.
Seriously, has to happen soon.
Yeah, it has to happen soon. As good as he's playing. And all of the receipts that people kept of all the naysayers and fuck faces who were hating on Weston, who were Juve fans, man, we're going back. We're saying this didn't age well. Yeah, we got receipts, baby. That's why you don't shit on a player, all over a player, unless you really know.
unless you really know, right there.
Right. You got to know.
Where's all the Busio fans that are going to be hounding on your door, in 2 years when he's rocking into the Premiership?
Yeah, well, then I'll apologize to eat crow, but I don't think I'm going to have to. It's like the whole Conrad thing, and I'm not really shitting on Conrad. I wish Conrad would have worked out, but I don't think he is going to work out, and I'm just telling people don't waste your time researching his Ibar games because he barely ever plays, like he barely played this weekend. So there you go.
But, I mean, Weston just needs to remove that albatross from his neck and score a fucking goal at this point.
I don't think he's too worried about it because
I don't think he is either.
He's contributing on so many other levels. I don't think he's even concerned.
If he's lacing those crosses, I'm just saying this for me as a striker, but if he's lacing those crosses and getting the assists, I don't think he cares one way or another.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, I'm sure it's on his mind. Like, I missed another one. Are you kidding me?
Am I going to go an entire season without whipping my wand out? And no, guys, that's not a innuendo there.
Kind of.
And you're in. Hey.
All right, so there's that.
All right, let's see. Moving on here. So I came up with this like literally seconds before the show started, Derek, and I even brought it up to you. And before we get into that, I want to bring up our first super chat.
Okay. AJ1410 for $1.99. Thank you, brother. Bruce Arena must be scared. No. Brendan Aronson must be scared. I'm sorry, but for 20 years, we referred to Bruce Arena as BA, especially when he was the first run of his as coach of the U.S. men's national team. BA must be scared. Luna, Sabi, Wright, and now JS.
Josh Sargent.
Who? Josh Sargent. Yeah. I'd say right now, the way Sabi had another great weekend, scored again, and Josh Sargent can obviously play out wide as well. And then Wright's been playing out wide as a left winger, left forward for Coventry. He's injured right now, so he didn't play this weekend. But I don't know if he's scared. I think
he's scared for other reasons.
he's not scared. I think he's more, I'm sure, just concerned.
Where the fuck am I going to play next year?
Yeah, where am I going to play? He started this weekend, but as he has been in many games, and I think he went 70-something minutes, he just looked like he wasn't. I mean, he was there on the field. He was there. Nobody really looks for him. He doesn't really demand the ball. Yeah, he's just there. He's on the pitch. He's filling space right now. But he played and they got a tie. So there you go.
And AJ, I was going to make the comment, but you commented before I could get to it. And this was even before Derek and I went on this little tidbit about BA. But I was kind of surprised in your super chat that you didn't have this as well. But
well, that's a given, right?
Of course.
Yeah. What was the song? How did it go? 8675309. So that's what I'm doing. If you're wondering, I got it. All right. So that's the song we're mock whenever you give us candy, i.e. the super chat.
Which is clearly not enough digits or letters in your name for us to even run that tune too, but why not?
That's why when I get to the blank spot, I just mumble.
All right. Well, back to what I was going to say. I brought this topic up to you like literally seconds before starting the show. Made the comment that Tom Bogert looks like he's like straight out of like the 1990s USA hockey scene.
Porn star as well. That mustache is 80s porn.
That's more 80s porn. But I think that's more 90s hockey. Maybe I don't know if Chris Scary's
it's both.
Maybe he'll be able to tell us, but
it's both.
Look at that thing. Look at him. And he's got like the hair and everything. Yeah, it's straight 90s. That jacket looks like the USA jacket almost.
The only thing that would get him into the 80s porn category is he would need to have his hair feathered back.
Yeah.
Like Steve Alford style. And then he'd be killing it. And he'd fit into the porn category.
Hey,
So-
the soccer thing's not really working out for me, so why not?
I really don't think
Actually,
you.
no, nothing wrong with Tom.
I really don't think you need the arrows.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty
Wait,
sure.
which one's Herc? Which one's Tom? I don't know.
I'm confused. I need arrows. I need arrows. Help. All right.
See, now I would have gone the other way, and I would have literally had the arrow of Tom going to Herc, and then Herc going to Tom. That would have been funny.
Yeah, it might have been confusing to some, but
Yeah,
God, who
but-
wants to watch a whole fucking podcast on Toronto FC? Like what? 1,000 people that live in Toronto, maybe?
It is a niche market, man.
Oh, I thought what we do is niche. Toronto FC podcast. Oh well, you know what?
Well,
Herc,
that's the thing.
Herc
I
spends his time on. I guess he.
I don't know what they're talking about. It is the Toronto FC, and obviously they're both MLS dudes, and they know enough. But I was sitting there thinking, like, it'd be great content, and it'd be a write off to be able to, go to the Indy 11 games and do content for that. But then I started thinking, I was like, man, we'd have like 45 people watch.
Well, yeah. You know, the crazy thing about that is at the time we had the biggest vidcast, which didn't take much on big soccer, right?
Nope.
And we were really, the first ones. We were pioneers. We were doing a show before anybody else had a podcast, et cetera, et cetera. And they never asked us to do a show on Indy 11. And we didn't swear back then either. We weren't allowed to swear.
I'm actually kind of surprised how clean we were.
Yeah.
That was before kids for me. I mean, I was just a drunken asshole on a podcast.
But we never swore. We kept it clean. We had all the biggest guests on our show, former U.S. soccer players, but I guess we weren't good enough or big enough to do their radio show. They never asked to do. They never said, "Hey, you guys want to come on our radio show?" No, give me a break. We got fucked in that deal, dude. We kind of got fucked. Like we did all the hard work, and then they're like, "Okay, hey, we're going to celebrate you. We're going to celebrate you." Oh, thanks. How about a fucking job, motherfuckers?
I've got the picture from or the framed picture thing that we got from that thing this past summer.
Oh yeah,
somewhere around here. It's somewhere. And I'll hang it up and all, but I'm like that was awfully fancy. Like everybody got one of these things, and all I wanted was recognition. I tell everybody, I just want a bronze statue at the front of the stadium of us.
Yeah, I agree.
Respect.
Right. And I mean that I'd gladly take that. We're not even on the fucking Wikipedia page. How do you help found a soccer team and not even being named on the fucking Wikipedia page? It's goddamn, it's a travesty. Not that okay, some people say, well, man, you don't need credit. Yeah, I want some fucking credit for it. I do. Fuck that shit. All right. It's on my resume.
You deserve a little bit there.
Yeah, we deserve credit. The original founders, what were there? 9 of us?
Were there 9 of us?
I think so. Total.
Gabe, Jason.
Yeah, there were 9 of us.
I'm thinking of 5 right now off the top of my head. Who?
Well, regardless, some did more than others. And anyhow, but I don't see any of them getting any credit either. So it's not just us getting fucked. All right. But we got fucked a long time ago. So this is like, this is crying over milk that's been spoiled forever. So I should just move on with the show. All right. What do we got next?
It doesn't have to be gold. Bronze is fine.
I'm fine with pewter. You want to use pewter? Go ahead and use pewter.
Something that withstand the weather we have here in Indy, like where it's constantly thawing and freezing. You got salt spray everywhere. It's got to hold up to the environment.
Is it bronze that turns green after aging? After years?
If you don't keep up with it, yeah.
So guess what? If we eventually turn green, the statue, that's kind of interesting because guess what? The original color of the team was green. Yeah,
green and black. Yeah.
Although they stole my checkers design, those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Never gave me credit for that too, for the uniforms, the checkers. Remember, I posted
all we lacked was the money. All we lacked was the money. We could have been the owners. We did all the work outside of that.
Yeah. All right. Well,
son of a bitch. Well, I guess while we're talking about weather, let's talk about weather.
Well, before we leave that,
go ahead.
It's like, would you want to go back in time and spend all the time and effort that we spent on that again?
Nah, probably not.
I mean, really.
Don't get me wrong. There's some fun moments there, especially when it came to like the tailgating when we had like the beer and shit there.
Yeah,
it was fun talking to people, getting to know everybody that was around.
That was fun.
That was a blast. Going to the games, I've literally fried my vocal cords at those games.
We could have done all of that without founding the team,
without doing everything else. Yeah,
right. Without doing the work. But then maybe the team never happens.
It's fair.
Yeah. So there's that too, I guess.
As you talk about every time we talk about USL stuff, it doesn't really matter what USL does, right?
Not really.
They have nowhere to go.
They got nowhere to go. I got nowhere else to go.
Nowhere else to be.
I think it's go. He says I got nowhere else to go.
You may be right. Yeah.
Yeah. Officer and gentleman.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
Fine
right.
acting. All right. Go ahead.
Speaking
Richard
of
Gere.
winter and weather, one of the big talking points for MLS, one of the talking down points, let me rephrase this, for MLS is that it's not on a FIFA schedule. It's not on a European schedule there.
Right.
And if only we could go on that FIFA European schedule, we could have like all the breaks that the European team, all the FIFA, all these breaks. We wouldn't have to continue playing MLS games while FIFA windows are around.
Well, that doesn't matter anymore for most teams. I mean, unless they're foreign players, yes.
Yeah.
Like El Salvador, they have Guatemala, they got players in MLS that play on their national, but we don't. We got one guy.
They talked about how MLS was like the third league in the world that had the most players at the World Cup.
Well, I'm not worried about those other teams.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, I don't care if it affects Guatemala. That doesn't ruin my day. But at one point it was affecting the U.S. men's national team.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not anymore because only one guy is probably going to make one MLS guy is going to make our squad going forward.
Yeah, moving forward, yeah. And he might get pushed out too.
Yeah, and he might leave after one more season. That's
true too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Derek, what's the biggest talking point against the FIFA window, the FIFA calendar for MLS?
Fucking the weather we're having right now. Goddamn Himalayas shit is what
would you love to have gone to an Indy 11 game yesterday or today when it's like -4 outside?
No.
Why not?
I didn't even leave the house. I haven't left the house since Saturday.
Mm.
I went out and stocked up on all my liquor and all my other vices and some food. And that's it. And I'm staying indoors. We weren't even asked to drive into work today. They're like, just work from home. Fuck it. Don't get in your car and get trapped somewhere out there in this weather. This single-digit bullshit. So everybody worked from home, which is fucking great.
Yeah. Well, I had today off. Worked for a school district and all. You know what happens.
Well, MLK Day's tomorrow, right?
Today.
And so everybody's got that off.
Well, today was off, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's the big thing because we talk about Indiana. And it sucks, man. It was clear and sunny, but it was like -6 outside. So it may not have been sunny. Maybe it was overcast some, I guess. But
yeah, it
I stayed inside now, so I wasn't really looking outside much.
I wouldn't either. Yeah.
But guess some sad folks in Buffalo were definitely looking forward to going outside.
Yeah, you'd have to have an indoor stadium to play in the winter.
How do the European nations that have winters similar to us do it? Well, they have indoor stadiums.
Russia, yeah.
Because I mean, any of the Norwegian states up top, the big.
I'm sure. I don't know if they have indoor, but a lot of them don't play on natural grass. They don't in a lot of the Russian.
I know a lot of the Sweden. Not Swedish? A lot. I guess some of the Swedish fields are indoors.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I mean, I know the teams. I just don't. I don't know.
5-month decent break of good weather, and half of that 5 months you're off season.
Scandinavia doesn't play on the FIFA window.
Yeah,
a lot of the Scandinavian teams play on a different window.
That's a good point. Yeah. Good point. Yeah,
that's why they're able to join us for Camp Cupcake a lot of the times.
That's a great point. Yes, that's awesome. I didn't put two and two together there, but
because they're not stupid.
Yeah,
I don't
that's kind of what we do anyways. We do something different too. We just nix out the winter months more or less.
Yeah,
we've already started preseason. They've already announced that shit.
Yep.
But yeah, so here's Buffalo. Here's Buffalo. Tell me you wouldn't love to play in this weather right here.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'll pass on that.
Looks like
oh
water.
my God!
Looks like water.
Looks like clouds on the. Yeah, fuck that. No, I don't want to play on that. I do not want to play on that. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to play on it. I don't want to sip a beer on it.
I'll have my fireplace roaring in Buffalo, watching the game, comfort of my house.
Mm-hmm.
I would never in my life go out in that shit.
And of course, yes, we're well aware there's not an MLS team in Buffalo. So, in case anybody's wondering, there's not an MLS team in Buffalo. You know how outraged people can get.
It gets shitty in Chicago. Go to Toronto.
No shit.
All that shit's fucking
Toronto.
miserable.
We got
Minnesota. I mean, come the fuck on.
Whole Northeast is frozen over right now. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Hell has frozen over. What else we got?
Derek, when you were partying in your college years and everything, and you're at a party with a bunch of friends and stuff like that. How often did you play the kiss, marry, or fuck, marry, kill game?
I remember playing fuck, marry. I don't remember the kill part. I thought it was more like a kill sounds really severe. Maybe you throw her out. So fuck, marry, throw her out the door.
Somebody's got to go.
I mean, kill sounds pretty serious. I mean, you're going to move from.
Well, it's pretty serious, Derek.
I know. Well,
that's pretty intense, guys.
There she is. You want to marry her? Maybe. You want to fuck her? Well, yeah, that's pretty low standards. You want to kill her? Well, what the fuck? Where did kill come from? No, just I want her to leave. That's the third option. Leave, please.
Well, I mean, it's like three. What is the statistic for divorces at this rate? It's like
I don't know. I'm one of those
three out of four marriages end in a divorce. I imagine there's some people sitting there going like, I really wish I would have killed her instead of married her.
No, no, not the mother of my child.
BMR's got a fuck, marry, evict.
There we go. I like that one. Fuck, marry, or throw her out. Yes.
All right. Well, the only reason I bring this up, not because I want to play that game, Derek.
Okay.
But they play a different game here on the Twits. They do a start, bench, and cut.
Okay.
And I want to hear what you have to say on this because here are the three players you have to choose from, either to start, bench, or cut.
Okay.
It's Pulisic, Donovan, or Dempsey.
Pulisic, Donovan, or Dempsey. What is it? Cut, bench, start, cut, bench, start, bench, cut.
Whatever. Start, bench, cut. However you want to word it.
Well, I'm gonna start Pulisic. I'm sorry. Then I'm gonna bench Dempsey and I'm gonna cut Donovan. That's
great minds think alike, Derek.
Oh no!
That's what I thought. No, that's what I thought.
And he's looking. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to tell me.
You and me. We thought this.
All right. Good. I thought you were going to tell me Lawless agreed with me again.
Yeah. No, he doesn't at all.
He looks worn out.
I mean, it's the taxing job. He's everywhere. He's in some form of convention right now.
His hairline's receding.
What is this?
Faster than yours.
I can't read what that says. He's an attendee at some convention.
Okay, well, are you going to play this? Or
yeah. I was going to give the chat a little bit of time to chime in there. Let's see here. Just to go over a couple people first. First, Jose Lopez would cut Lawless.
Well, he's not on the list, Jose, but I would too.
Start Pulisic, bench Dempsey, cut Donovan.
Yep.
Pulley, Dempsey, Donovan.
Yep.
Pulley, Dempsey, Donovan.
All right, so there we go.
Wow, guys.
So there's
he's gonna start Donovan, bench Dempsey, cut Pulley. That's what he thinks Lawless is gonna do. Now, mind you, this is a couple of people in here. It's not just Lawless.
That's what he thinks Lawless is going to say.
That's what he thinks. Lawless
that doesn't surprise me if he says that. But let me ask Lawless this question: have Donovan ever been the player of the month in Italy Serie A? Because that's just what Pulisic was. Mm-hmm. And that's not voted on by Americans, by the way. That's voted on by Italians.
And we're looking at Donovan. Nothing to take away from Donovan, legend on the field, of course, for the U.S. But we're looking at his stats from a retiree person at this point.
Yep.
Pulisic not only has a more successful career in Europe in general, but just in general, but he is on track to surpassing Donovan and Dempsey in goals. Now, mind you, Donovan has goals and assists, so there's that tallies into it, of course. When you're the go-to person every single match type of thing. But
I'm going to also just say that Dempsey has intangibles that Donovan doesn't.
The grit.
The grit.
Determination, yeah. We talked about, and people seem to forget this, and they look at the good times and they forget the bad times with Donovan. It was like almost like every other game type of thing where Donovan would drift out of the game and just ghost. We're like, did Donovan even fucking play this match?
Was that the 2006 World Cup?
In general.
I know, but that was a good example of him ghosting it.
Yeah. So it was everybody wants to remember the good times, but they're not remembering that there were times where you're sitting there like,
is he
Donovan
playing
even on the pitch? I mean, I think he touched the ball like 3 times.
Yep.
And again, not bagging on Donovan by any means. You know, we bagged on him for his
takes,
his ability, his takes, of
bad takes,
being a pundit and everything like that. Bad takes, but on the field, arguably, I mean, he's up there. He's one of the tops.
He's top 3.
Yeah, these are the top 3. If you want to argue that, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see what everybody has to say here.
No sound.
No sound.
No sound.
I could have swore I did the sound, motherfucker.
But you got the sound on the goddamn Buffalo thing. That's
I know. Here we go. We're gonna try this again.
Start, bench, cut. Christian Pulisic, Landon, Donovan, and Clint Dempsey.
Oh my God!
I am benching Christian Pulisic.
No,
he's just benching him though.
All right.
I am starting Landon Donovan.
He's starting Landon Donovan.
Of course he is.
That means he's cutting Dempsey.
Yeah. All right. Well, to each his own.
And I am cutting Clint Dempsey. Starting Christian, and for no other reason than I bear the same name. Start Landon Donovan, easy. I have to start Clint.
I'm going to start Clint Dempsey because he's got that dog in him.
We'll pause this just because I don't want to get struck for anything.
We're not going to get struck for that.
Strikes us. What the fuck?
It's not on any major album or label.
Bench Clint Dempsey.
I'm benching Landon.
Bench Landon Donovan.
And I'm cutting Landon Donovan strictly because we're an LAFC podcast and he played on the Galaxy. I'm going to be real petty about it. No, Landon's an absolute legend.
So what? I'm going to cut Pulisic.
I'm cutting Pulisic.
You know, that's why Brad Friedel fucking failed as a coach.
It's what everybody's going off of the history at this point. That's the problem. They're not looking at what Pulisic has accomplished and placing it in comparison to what the other two have. Now, don't get me wrong, Dempsey has come to Europe. He's done well. Donovan came to Europe late in his career in the end. I mean, he's started there and then ended there, of course. But he didn't end there, I guess. But he went there for a short spell. But
listen, we're old like Brad Friedel. We're old like Lawless. Why? I mean, we've been around covering the sport. I was covering the sport when not really covering it. I was certainly watching it when Lawless played in '94. I don't really get it. I'm an old schooler. Why are these old schoolers getting this so wrong? Yes, Landon Donovan is a legend, but I mean, Pulisic has already shown that he's the best player that we've ever had.
Don't get me wrong. It is a tough decision. We're talking about 3 of the top players on the U.S. men's national team. Period. But which one of those 3, at almost the same age? It took Dempsey to that point to even get to Europe. That Pulisic has been with AC Milan, Chelsea, and Dortmund.
Yep.
I mean, the club career alone dwarfs everybody else.
Yeah.
And you're looking at Pulisic's stats right now.
He's going to blow both of those guys away.
He's in goals alone. I can't say anything about assists because I don't know where he stands with assists. But goals alone, he's going to by far surpass him. It's going to happen. 100%.
Yeah. At least no one's getting killed in this. So there's that. All right. So that's that, right?
Yeah. It's not, I don't think anybody else really has anything to say there.
No.
So, but I'm just like, I mean, at that point, it's a personal take, really. But
Brad Friedel, one of the worst managers ever in MLS history.
Yeah.
One of the worst. All his players hated his guts. Hated him. including our who's the guy who went and played in Vietnam?
Win.
Yeah.
Lee Win.
Yeah, Lee Win had nothing but horrible things to say about Brad Friedel. Actually, almost every player who's come out and talked about their time when Brad Friedel was the manager there said the same thing. And then that's why you never got another job again. You can't have that poor of A, results, and B, feedback from the people that had to work with you. Shit, you're never going to coach again. He might get another chance, but I don't know why you need to be such an asshole. I don't know who he learned that from. You know, maybe he just is an asshole. You know, that's something you have to take into account, which is sad. He's one of the best goalkeepers we've ever had. Like Tony Miola's like one of the nicest dudes. That's why he can't manage a team either. He's too nice. You can't be too nice, but you can't be an asshole.
He worked for Ted Lasso.
Did he?
Yes, it worked for Ted Lasso.
Miola?
No.
Oh, it worked. It worked. Yeah, that's a Disneyland. That doesn't really work in real life. That doesn't really work. All right.
What?
You can't be that nice. There's no way. Because you got to hold people to standards.
You know,
and when you got to hold people to standards, you can't be nice all the time.
I mean, I know I've had Apple for the entire year and everything like that. I know Ted Lasso's been over for a while now. I just recently got done watching it because I got my mother-in-law to watch it.
Yeah, you told us. Yeah.
And so I finished it up, watched it. I didn't realize how late in season 3 Conrad's cameo was.
I know. Isn't that funny?
I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, this is Jimmy Conrad. He's been on our show before.
How did he talk himself into that scene? That's hilarious.
It literally was just a look at Roy as he walked by with a tie-dye T-shirt on. I was like,
right. And he walks by and he goes, makes a funny face. Go check out Jimmy Conrad in the next to the last episode of Ted Lasso, but kind of a sucky ending.
Second last, third to last one of those, yeah.
But
season
3 kind of dragged on.
I feel like spoilers at this point are non-existent because there's been plenty of time. I'm kind of surprised it took me so long to actually get through it all.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I thought it was a solid ending to the show.
That's okay.
I mean, well, it's an ending. It wrapped everything up, and that's all that mattered. I think the only thing I would have liked to have seen, because when Ted went back to America, and he, his son, he hugged the son, they walked into his old house, not his current house, I guess, and then he's coaching him as rec player, whatever youth level he is. It's just his ex-wife in the stands cheering. You never really see the doctor, the doctor that was coming into the equation since the last game. So did she not? I mean, what happened there? Did she not meet the guy? Did she still see him, or are they back together? I don't know.
No, there are implied endings for that relationship in the story when she kind of figures out he's kind of a asshole.
Well, she tells him to shut up basically while they're watching the game.
Right. And then she notices he's kind of like putting down Ted and doesn't really care about supporting the kid. And then she realizes that dick face has got to go.
Yeah. And that's what I would assume. But then all of a sudden, I mean, it kind of leaves it open-ended there.
Nah, I don't think so. I think it's basically saying that's when it even has a scene where they show her like almost having a realization moment. Right. So, yeah, I think the doctor's gone.
Well, she mentions throughout the entire show, like at the very beginning of the first season, where she's like, I would give anything to have that feeling back. And maybe that's the point. Maybe she has that feeling back that they had when they first started dating and got married and everything like that. Whenever it came to fruition of them, getting second place ultimately. Yeah.
Okay, enough Ted Lasso.
that was a fun little tangent. I only bring that up because, I brought it for other reasons too, but it kind of plays into the equation of this next video I got here.
Okay, what's that?
Here's another cameo from the Ted Lasso show.
Okay.
Whoa.
There he is.
So Pep here, he's talking about the attackers and his
number nines. Number nines. Or attacking in general.
Attacking in general,
Okay, because I think I've heard
attacking the final third, basically.
I think I've heard the final third quote before.
But go ahead. PMR says, thanks for spoiling. Well, it's been out for almost a year, guys.
Yeah, I mean, It's been a while. If you haven't watched it,
yeah. All right. But yeah, so he's talking about the attack, especially in the central attack, the creative options he's got going through the central, and then obviously Holland. But he talks about how when it gets to that final third and finding the spaces and doing all this stuff, it has nothing to do with tactics, and it's all to do about skill.
Please tell Berhalter that.
And that's the thing. That's the only reason why I brought this video up, because I mean I like the quote, of course. But Berhalter likes to overthink things and use his tactics. He's got his 9 checking back way too fucking far, so then he's out of position when we do get in the final third.
Right.
So let's hear what he has to say.
Listen, for the way we play, I want to be honest with you. When the way we play was quite similar without him. But to win games, we need types of players like Kevin or Erling Haaland. It's 2 different sides. So the way we play. After 8 years together, most of things we know exactly what you have to do. We have players that play in the pockets, but the vision, the quality, the final third, see something special, that is not tactics, it's talent.
There you go.
There you go. Yep.
So
Greg.
we talk about you have Balogun, and we'll talk about Balogun later on the show, guys. But we have Balogun, who's a very good striker. Especially in certain formations, certain tactics in general. But when you have a coach, a manager who's using his tactics and kind of making him, as you would say, constipated in and around the goal, it doesn't work out so well. And that was one thing we saw under BJ and under why am I spacing? Previous guy's name,
Hudson.
BJ and Hudson, is that it freed up the attack, and you saw Pepe. Pepe was having fun. He was scoring goals under Hudson, and then BJ came in, won Nations League. So it's just like maybe Berhalter could watch this and and glean something from it.
Specifically, Pepe made the point to say, yeah, BJ's allowed us to be more creative in the attack. Yeah, and so. That's allowed me to free myself up to be a more creative. And so I get the feeling watching Greg, we get to the final third, that the message to the players is just kick it around the shoehorn until you see an opening. Well, you're not going to find an opening that way. And now it's too late because you let the defense settle in. You got to attack more quickly in the transition. And we don't do that. We do a lot of settling. And that comes down to tactics. And the reason I say it comes down to tactics is because it's so obvious, because of the obvious change that happened once he came back. It's already back to where we were before. Whereas under BJ and Hudson, we saw a quicker transition of the ball. And now we're back to, all right, we gained possession. Now let's kick it around a bit. Let's get it back to Reims, who's going to kick it out wide, and then it'll go back to Reims. If necessary, kick it back to the keeper, and then we'll kind of poke him our way up through the midfield. Once we get it beyond midfield, we'll get it out wide. And then if there's not a cross available, then we'll kick it around the fucking box for a while. And that's just pathetic to watch. And it's so goddamn predictable. Anyhow, would love for Greg to hear this video. But he's too busy, Greg, talking to the leaders of our country about leadership, immoral leadership, to be talking to,
I think ultimately, if you wanted to just fix the situation, he would stop asking our 9s to come back so far.
Yeah.
Stay the fuck up there. You're the striker. Get in the box. Find the pockets. Find the spaces. We'll lob those balls into you. You get a hold of them. Yeah. Or maybe we'll split the defense and you run into those pockets. But it's gonna be different than saying, all right, I'm Balogun, I'm checking back into our defensive third to get the ball. Oh crap, now we're in the attack. Pulisic, you're on your own.
Now, if Greg's gonna continue to play Greg ball, he might as well just bench Balogun because he's gonna be useless. You're better off playing Pepe and Sargent in Greg ball because those guys are good in the box. They finish in the box. Balogun is not an in-the-box guy. He's not going to get you a lot of headers. He's not going to get a lot of, chip balls or, scrappy play in the box. That's not his game. His game is through passes, using his speed to beat the back line and playing off the back shoulder.
Why he's such a big fan of playing with Reyna? It's because he's creating those opportunities.
And right now, Balogun's having the same problem at Monaco that he has playing for us. They play a lot of static ball, and quite frankly, Ben Yedder's better.
Let's just talk about we're over here, I guess.
Ben Yedder's better than Balogun, and sort of in that static ball situation. And that's the way Monaco's been playing recently. So unfortunately, Balogun's only got the last 10, 15 minutes of the game. Mm-hmm. No, he got 46 minutes, it looks like, in a loss. Wait, no. Yeah. So he didn't start. I wouldn't panic because I think there are teams they will be able to play more through balls against. There are going to be teams they'll face that play a higher line, which will allow him to do that. But the teams that are sort of not bunkering, but playing a midline, he's had more problems with, or even a low line this season. So we'll see. But Ben Yedder, when he plays, has been pretty good. So that's the other problem.
I mean, and it's something that we're going to have to face as a fan base here under Berhalter's system. And I know that some things have changed. He's been playing Reyna in that more or less 8/10 role, which does open up the possibility to open up Balogun. But if we continue to pass the horseshoe, like you were saying, horseshoe play, back around, cross, it's not going to play to Balogun's strengths.
Definitely not.
And we said this all qualifying, all last cycle actually, where like the 9, you look at the passing grid, like when people have the heat maps and stuff like that. You look at the passing grid, and you'd see that the 9 is non-existent.
Yeah.
Why wasn't the 9 getting the ball more? Well, it just didn't fit the system.
He didn't track back far enough for us to pass it to him. Balogun needs to Jesus it up more. Yeah, it's just it's unfortunate. I mean, honestly, Brett, you'd be better off playing PFOC than Balogun if you're going to play the Berhalter ball, because again, another guy that knows how to head the ball, finish in the box, who's 6'3" or whatever the fuck he is, big boy. That's what you want if you're going to play that kind of horseshoe ball.
It was incredibly telling when Berhalter got here. It's like, we're still trying to figure out how to play with Balogun.
I mean, it's not
how to get the most out of him. Well, Derek, it's incredibly difficult to get the most out of him when you don't want to change your system all that much.
Yeah, remember the Trinidad game where I was bitching at halftime to you. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Where's the quick transition when we gain possession when they lose the ball? Why are we settling down? And that was on Reyna, but it looked like Reyna was told to do that. Otherwise, Reyna should have been got possession and bam, charged forward with that ball. Because if you sit back, then they can all just park the bus, and then you're back to horseshoe ball. The transitions needed to be quicker. Now, we saw some of that in the second half, and it looked better, but still not quick enough. If the team's got a bunker, you got to take advantage of them when they're spread out and they lose possession. Go.
It's tough to without knowing, obviously. But I wonder, because we've seen Reyna play very attacking style football.
Yep.
But then there are times under Berhalter so far this cycle, not even previous cycles, because he was injured for 90% of it, but this cycle, where he's just playing as almost like another 8 in the system, and he's playing it out wide instead of trying to look for those through balls or taking a couple players on or doing whatever he normally does. Sometimes you just see him playing. He's just another 8,
Looks like that for Terzic too, by the way.
Well,
looks like he's playing deeper back than he should be.
Well, that's why he's not playing much, Derek, because he doesn't have. He needs to work on the interceptions and the defensive plays.
I guess, he needs to be.
You could hear that eye roll. That was pretty loud.
I know. Yeah, he needs to be a better defender. I'm sorry, watch him play this season. His defending's not that bad. So,
yeah.
I mean, listen, people have written me and said, "Man, you just don't get it." Bino Gittins and Sabitzer and all these. The guy they just brought back, Sancho,
yeah,
they're all better than him. No, I don't think they are. I don't think they're better players. I'm sorry, I just don't. I think that Reyna is a once-in-a-lifetime gifted player. And if Terzic doesn't value him, then he needs to get the fuck out. That's all I got to say. I mean, I still see it even when he plays 10 minutes. I didn't even bother watching his 5 minutes this weekend. I'm like, fuck that. I'm not watching it.
I heard he's, even though he got only a couple minutes, he still had a good, solid goal-scoring opportunity, like created. Not necessarily him scoring, but him creating a chance.
Yep. He does it every time. So I don't get it. I mean, maybe Terzic doesn't want to score goals. I don't know.
No. He scored plenty. Obviously, he scored 3 of them this past weekend, so it didn't matter. But
it worked.
He's got to get the fuck out of there. And it's clear. Yanks decided to post something about he's like, hey, he's like, oh, and here's another example of Gio feeling he's entitled to playing minutes. I'm like, no. What it was is here's Gio, who's up for his playing time, so he gave the board his 2 weeks notice by saying, I'm not re-signing with you fuckers. You better be wheeling and dealing soon.
Are we pretending that he didn't play on a regular basis before, when Holland was around, when he was younger, when he was pre-injury, that he wasn't a regular, if not starter?
Season. Like starter, as a starter for the most part.
Right. So I don't get it. Are we all to sit here and pretend that kid?
Yeah, we're talking about.
Didn't get better, or is he worse? Now he's worse than he was when he was a kid.
Well,
I don't understand it.
The thing is I don't know if, and I'm agreeing with Cranks here, I'm not sure if we're seeing a different Dortmund now. Maybe this is a change. Maybe we're seeing a change in Dortmund's
play the
system,
kids,
if you will. With Leipzig, we saw was no longer Red Bull ball. They changed it, and they brought a Red Bull ball guy back with Marsh, and he got shit canned early. And they went back to the way they were playing. That was non-Red Bull ball. So maybe this is the thing. Maybe we're seeing. I think this is the oldest Dortmund team I've seen, and I haven't been following Dortmund all that long, but it's the oldest team I've seen.
Yeah, so, because one thing about going to Dortmund is the kids always got a chance to play. Now you got Mukoko, you got Reyna, who's 21. You got a lot of the young kids struggling to get anything but bare bones end of the game minutes, except for Bino Gittins, which I'm sorry, he's a good player, but I just don't get that one. I mean, I guess you need somebody to play left winger who's fast, but he doesn't lift his head a lot and look for the open guy. I don't know, Brett. I'm just so sick of watching Dortmund at this point.
Well, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I know we talked about the whole word. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating in the sense that there's no reason why he shouldn't be playing more, except for the fact that we've all said this for almost the entire season so far, that Terzic just doesn't rate him. It's as simple as that.
And Terzic has become, after last year's debacle on the last game, it seems to me he doesn't trust the young players anymore. He's going to go with the vets, and he's being super conservative.
Yep.
And it's not working out for him. Hate to break the news, but you're further down the table now than you were last year.
Isn't that funny though that you have a nothing against the aged players on the team right now? I mean, they're good in their own right, but you had seasons prior where you played these young 17, 18, 19-year-old starlets.
Yeah.
And they always consistently got you like 2 second or third place. It wasn't a first place, obviously, because obviously Bayern's been running that train.
Yep.
But they've always kept you up there, and here we are. We're sitting. I mean, I don't know if Dortmund's moved up in the ranks, and they had the break. And so, what are they still in fifth, sixth area, fifth?
Somewhere around there. Yep.
I mean, the team's not performing. I mean, if they are getting wins. They're still up there. They're not too far off of a Champions League spot, but they're not the contenders you'd always see. Yeah, Dortmund used to always leak in goals, but the thing about Dortmund's play in the past, again, my short history of following Dortmund in that sense, is that they were always offensive in the sense that they were always going to score more goals than they leaked in.
And not only that, the board has to be shitting their pants because they're used to selling off players like Sancho at these big, huge numbers and Bellingham at these big, gigantic numbers because both of those kids, when they were just kids, got to play at Dortmund and they built a massive reputation. and then you sold him for gazillions of dollars. Well, you're not going to be able to do that with Reyna or Moukoko. If you're not going to play him, you're not going to be able to build that cash cow that you're used to building at Dortmund.
Yeah.
So there you go. If you're a board member, you got to be concerned. That's why Terzic's out after this season's over. We all know it.
Well, why even keep him around at that point then? That's my question. I
don't know.
Because shit-getting Terzic at the halfway mark here in the winter break might have convinced somebody like Reyna to stick around, whereas now it seems like Reyna doesn't want to stick around at all anymore.
And they really don't play his position. They don't really play a CAM. So he's always stuck playing normal midfield, or he's playing out wide, right? We remember when they tried him out wide earlier this season. I mean, they totally shut his ass down. So they didn't even play his position. A more attacking midfield spot is not available for him.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that does sort of play that spot, which would be Royce, he ain't going anywhere.
So Reyna probably dropped 10 million because of Terzic. Now that's interesting because from his injury, from the injury until now, he's actually dropped 20 million.
Yeah, 20.
Now, but how do you fix that, Derek?
You play him.
You play him.
Yep.
So if your aim is to sell Reyna, or maybe hopefully to re-sign him, if you're really that interested in keeping him around, you play the kid. You don't give him 15 minutes here, 5 minutes there.
Devaluing him. Absolutely devaluing him.
Yeah.
Gio Reyna is dissatisfied with his playing time under Terzic. No shit.
Hey.
Thanks to Sancho, he now has increased competition at BVB, and people are like, no, it's not. Yeah, it is, because on occasion when Reyna did get to play, he did get to play out wide. Recently, there have been inquiries from Marseille, Sevilla, and Sociedad. A winter change is not out of the question. It's not out of the question, but it doesn't look likely.
Yeah, he's out. Not in the winter. We talked about that with Diego. I don't think there's going to be a winter move by any means. I think it might benefit Dortmund to loan him out so that he can start building up his stock again.
Yeah.
But
you better research the fuck out of these teams if you're the agent, because, if you go to Sevilla or you go to Sociedad, are you going to play there? Is that a guarantee? Do they play the kind of system where you would fit in? So hopefully his agent's doing his due diligence. You can get buried and lost out there in Spain. Look at Luca De La Torre went through some good times, and now he's going through some tough times. So, but if you're going to tell me Luca De La Torre can start in the midfield for, a bad team in Spain, certainly Reyna should be able to play for these teams.
I only wanted to bring this up, Antonio, because I appreciate the fact that you're referencing this YouTube video.
I
forgot what it's even called right now.
Then BMR 209 first take a nap, then fires the missiles.
First take a nap, then fires the missiles.
I don't know.
I forgot the name of it. Somebody's gonna have it in the chat. It's a great video on YouTube.
Plant Abflug Vertrag. Anyhow, BVB news blog. Sebastian Kell on Gio Reyna. Gio has a difficult time and didn't play much. He has shown time and time again he can be a difference maker by playing in the center. He has competition in his position. Well, yeah, but he's got to play. Like, there were times, if he's talking about Royce doesn't play every game. He's going to need a break. He's an older fella. There are teams you can start Reyna in, or at least pull Royce or somebody off in the 65th and give him significant minutes, 25. Anyhow.
Yeah.
I don't know who Sebastian Kell is. So I'm guessing he's German.
BX Gunner is saying that Reyna can easily get into a top tier team right now, or side right
now. Yeah. Bologna, just Genoa, there are all kinds of options there. The question is, do any of those teams have the money that, say, Sevilla has the money? And Sevilla can use the help, honestly. It's sad seeing them because they were always one of the top, traditionally one of the top teams in Spain. They're having a rough go of it this season.
I mean, as it's summertime. I mean, we're looking. Reyna would be lucky to be valued at 20 million at this point for Dortmund.
Oh, it's just going to go down.
It's going to go down. Yep. I mean, and somebody's gonna bank on it, similar to how Milan banked on Pulisic at this point. Somebody is going to bank on Reyna. It's going to happen.
This isn't Formula One where you're Haas and you can just keep ending up in the last place every year and still your team evaluation goes up. That's not how this works. This is not Formula One. If you don't play and if you're only getting 5-10 minutes a game and your manager obviously does not value you as a player, your value will go down on the market. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And it's unlike Formula One, which is a closed market. This is a wide open market. So, all right.
Well, I mean, we started talking about Italy. I guess, no, you know what? Let's hold off on Pulisic right now. Let's actually jump into your favorite topic of the show, Derek.
All right. I'm ready.
You ready? Here comes 3, 2, 1, go.
Transfer news. Everybody loves that transfer news, but me.
Nice.
All right. Okay, Barnsley. I saw this on the transfer list today. Barnsley FC, we are delighted to announce the signing of Donovan Pines, subject to international clearance and successful visa application. How is Donovan Pines going to be able to get a visa to play at Barnsley? He's not going to be able to get one. He hasn't played enough on the U.S. men's national team.
I was going to ask, when you're talking about like the third division at that point, are the rules laxed any?
No.
How the hell do you get any international players, say, on the third division, unless they're in championship and they got relegated, of course? But how if you're a third division in England, how do you convince any national team player from any decent side?
Because you just have to have a European work permit.
Oh, that's a great point.
So Donovan
considered European.
Maybe Donovan Vines has a connection I don't know about. Maybe to Europe somewhere. I don't know. But I cannot see how he's going to be able to get his work permit to play at Barnsley. I mean, it's League One. That's a way down there. I thought maybe he'd go to a championship team. But I guess not. I mean, if Reggie Cannon can thrive at QPR, shouldn't...
Jackie and Pumar both say this too, but England's not part of the EU anymore.
Yeah, but still they have funky-ass rules. Because there are plenty of players in the League One from other countries, and none of them are national team players. So maybe the rules
maybe they got grandfathered into it. I don't know. You're already here. Why are we kicking you out? Type of thing.
I don't think that's the case. I still think that the European passport, even though, the Brexit thing, I get it. Yes, I get it. They're not in the EU anymore, but I don't think it affected soccer. I don't know. Maybe it did. We'll see. I don't think it affected the rules, but maybe it did.
Yeah, maybe they've laxed a little bit. I mean, not at the top level. Obviously, EPL and Championship. Maybe you still stick it, to your guns as far as you have to meet this in order to get the work permit. But if you're talking about lower division, maybe it's a bit lax. I don't know.
Where's Barnsley in League One? How are they? Can we look that up real quick?
League One.
Let's see how far down the ladder he's actually at.
Barnsley's in 6th.
Okay, that's not too bad.
They're at 46 points. They got 2 games in hand. And they are 7 points off first place.
So there's hope for the championship next season.
Yeah,
for Donovan Pines. I mean, hey man, I'm not going to shit on a guy for taking a chance. Go for it.
He's at DC.
Yeah, DC United.
I wonder what the pay increase or would be here.
It's not going to be much of one. But
I mean,
you know what? He's taking.
I wonder how much he's actually paid there, though. I mean, at DC. So,
hey, I'm just hats off to him for taking the shot. Good for you. Go get him, Donovan. I'm rooting for you.
So, Barrel Among Us says Pines played 1 game in the U.S. men's national team, and he continued to look rooted in place. The game that I can think of that he played was the Canada game that Sands got injured, and when we were up like 1-0. It was a Gold Cup game, I think. Sands got injured. He came in, and he just got spun around like a fucking top in that first, and especially in that first half.
Yeah.
Or when he first came in there. I don't know, maybe he stabilized as the game went on, sort of like a testament thing, but that's my one impression of Donovan Pines.
Hey, maybe he'll get to play against Wrexham.
Maybe.
I don't know what the season looks like. Larry, for $2. Hey, Larry, how are you? Dempsey is getting carted off in the World Cup like CP. Dempsey is getting carted off in the World Cup like Christian Pulisic. Getting carted off. Carted, maybe? Or carted? I don't know.
Well,
Larry, sometimes
he got his nuts caved in against Iran. He got carted off.
Dempsey's never carted off in a World Cup that I remember. All right. Well, thanks for the $2. We'll
see if we need more Larry stuff here. CP got carted off. Dempsey would fight. So he's basically saying Dempsey, if Dempsey was in the same situation and got his nuts squished in, like Pulisic did, Dempsey would have pulled him out of his area and then continue fighting. Apparently,
maybe so. Yeah,
maybe so.
Depends on how bad you got kicked in the nuts. Honestly. I mean, listen, you get kicked hard enough in the nuts, you're not getting up from that.
Yeah, that's rough, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
and I love the fact that like days later, he's like, it's not like I got kicked in the balls or anything, man.
Well, and did he get kicked or did he get grazed?
It was like he got like kneed into that area. Like, you could do him like that.
It still looked like it could have possibly been a graze. If you get grazed, that still hurts.
Got what's the movie called? It's something fights evil or something like that. I forgot what the name of the movie is called. It's but it's a spoof of a horror flick. And there's a scene where he's going to go save his friend, and this trap that the other people have set shoots a spear down at him, and it goes right between his legs. He goes, "Oh, this is the only time I'm ever going to say that I'm glad I'm not hung like a bear." You know?
Okay.
You
have the thin red line where Woody Harrelson's character has a hand grenade go off near his ass, and he just wants the guy he didn't want to check himself to see whether or not he still had a pair left. And the guy pulled down his pants. It's like, yep, they're still there. You're all right. You're all right. You just took some shrapnel to the asshole. That's it. You're good. All right. What else we got? Enough Donovan Pines.
Sorry, I just got a Tucker and Dale fights evil versus evil, guys.
Never seen it.
All right. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Tucker and Dale is a great fucking movie. It is hysterical. Okay. It is a horror flick spoof, and it's good.
It's not as good as Rosenstein and Guildenstern.
What?
That's a great movie. Rosenstein and Guildenstern.
Don't know what you're talking about.
It is a comedic movie about where those two characters are the main characters in what was Hamlet's play, and it's played by two funny motherfuckers. Can't remember who they were. But anyhow, Rosenstein and Guildenstern. Go see it. It's a good movie too.
Shoot me a text with that. I'll have to see if I can find that. Because I'm always willing to give a movie a chance.
Oh, it's hilarious. And you'll know I can't remember the name of the actors, but they're well known actors.
Okay.
Now, they were kids then. All right, what do we got? Youth Soccer Central, Kevin Sullivan's club decision is reportedly narrowing down. Here are just some of the top clubs who are interested in him, as he is keen on a move to Europe at 16. The European champions are reportedly a likely destination. Okay. All right, pick the club. Fuck Dortmund, fuck City, fuck Madrid, and fuck Bayern. Fuck all those teams. Don't go to any of those.
We're talking about a 15, 16-year-old kid. I would have said Dortmund hands down, but the way that they're being run right now, I don't want to send another 15-year-old, 16-year-old kid over there. We've had Pulisic had a great time there. Reyna started off strong, but I mean, at that point though, right now, I don't know if I want that.
I know. I mean, if you have to pick between these four, I'm going to Dortmund.
Yeah.
But
the chances of playing at Dortmund are significantly better.
Now, how good is this kid? Listen, going off. He must have a passport I don't know about, because he won't be able to leave until he's 18 otherwise. So he must have like an Irish
we need you. Find out.
Irish passport. Sullivan could be English, Irish, Scottish, maybe a Scottish grandmother. Who knows? But he's going to need one of those if he's leaving like soon. Anyhow, I wish him the best. But again, I'm not whipping it out and stroking it here because it's way too early to do that for a 16-year-old.
Well, I mean, we talked about shows past. You're like, where are all the 16, 17, 18-year-olds at these clubs playing? Well, I mean, Reyna went over to Dortmund at 16, started playing at 17.
Yeah.
So this could be the next kid that does that.
It could.
But he could flunk out. Who knows?
I wasn't getting myself worked up about Pulisic until it happened.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's the thing. You don't want to sit here and focus on these young kids before they get there, before they actually start performing. Because I mean, you don't want to sit there and say like, well, geez, if he goes to Dortmund, who knows what'll happen?
God, he'll be the next Gideon Salalem. Oh, what happened to him?
That's rough. That's rough. We always
injuries.
That's rough, man.
Yeah, but injuries can happen too to anybody.
Who was the would-be starlet that was not inflicted by injuries?
Gall. Or what's his name? No, not Romain Gall. The kid who could have gone to Arsenal.
Oh, Gill.
Gill, not Gall. Gill. Luis Gill.
Yeah. There was a lot of hopes and expectations when he turned down Arsenal for Real Salt Lake. I was like,
yeah.
Okay, we'll see what happens here, I guess.
But then you can be a lot of likely kids that have gone to Liverpool and Manchester United, like Lennon and other guys who Pelosi. I mean, the list goes on of players who've gone over to big clubs at a young age and never really made it. According to Transfer Market, he has a German passport. Well, I wouldn't have guessed that one. His mother must be his mother's side.
Yeah.
Sullivan is not very German. All right. What else we got? Good luck to Kevin. Caven or Kevin? What do you think?
I'm going with Caven.
Caven?
I don't know. Kevin sounds more likely.
Well, Caven. You want to know where Caven went? Caven. He's down there at the mountain where there's a big cave, and Caven's going Caven. I don't know. Maybe it's Kevin.
You said you had other transfer news stuff. Oh, there's one. There's one right there.
Ben Lederman, yeah, he's in Poland still.
Super talked about, man. When you crack that academy and you get a couple articles about you saying how well you're doing over there,
with your mom crying in the article about how badly you've been treated, and yeah,
it's it was a shame. And then he went from being a potential, oh my god, he's the next insert player here, to he's playing in Poland, and he might try out to play for Poland, I guess.
Right. Here's a list of players you might know with no club at all. Kobe Hernandez Foster, no club. By the way,
coming to MLS.
He might be coming to MLS because that shit is just not working out for him. Brian Keogh, who Pete had high hopes for, is 20. He does not play well. He's played 9 games, 3 starts for Ingolstadt this season. We're way, way, way down there. I think they're in Bundesliga 3 now. Romain Gall's 28. He's down at 3 Bundesliga. Remember whenever everybody's excited about Romain Gall?
Yeah.
He's now playing for Rot-Weiss Erfurt.
Is that why Gall was on your mind? We meant to say Gall?
Yep. Kobe Henry in the 3rd tier of France on loan. He's at Villafranche. He's on loan from Reims. Yes, he's only 19, so we'll see. But, he needs to play. If you don't play in the 3rd division, now he's played more recently, but when he first got there, he just rode pine for a while. But he has been on the bench since November 3rd. So what's going on with Kobe Henry? Another kid everybody was spooging over. All right. Malik Sanogo down there.
He's without a club, though?
No, he's got a club. He's at Nuremberg 2. He's still 19. 12 games, 3 goals, 1 assist we'll see what happens, but only really a total of 442 minutes. So that's not a lot of playing time. Jack DeFries, remember when he was with our good buddies? Huh?
Was Philly, right?
Yeah, he was at Venezia.
Oh, Venezia, yeah.
So they got rid of him. And now he's playing in Serie C with Pesaro. He has 6 starts in 18 games.
I thought that was a loan to Venezia. They actually bought him out?
I don't know.
Fair enough. I mean, if he's at Serie C at this point, imagine they got rid of him.
I mean, it could be a loan. But Tyler Freeman, remember when Tyler Freeman was the end-all, be-all guy for the youth teams? He played many, many games for the youth teams. Everybody thought he was going to do great. He just got released by Nashville. Of course,
remember the name. Yeah.
Well, he was at Karlsruhe's U19s in Germany there for a while too, and so he played on our youth squads. And now he's got no club at all. Owen Otasawi, no word on him yet, but he will more than likely just be let go by Club Bruges and have no club. So Uli Lanez went back to Wolfsburg. He's played 0 games. His last game was at St. Polten in April of 2023. It's the last time he played a game. Not good. Sebastian Soto still hasn't played a fucking game for Klagenfurt. Isaiah Young, again, another former youth player, is at Rot-Weiss Essen. You can pretty much just mark him off. Ola Sunday has no club. And it doesn't look like that. Matthew Ola Sunday has no club. He went to Rotherham for a while, and that didn't work out. And now he's got no club and hasn't had a club for some time. It doesn't look like he's close to signing with anybody. Kobe Hernandez Foster, we mentioned earlier. He's 21. He was at HamCam, and all of us were like, why the fuck did you go to HamCam? Well, he couldn't even he got 14 minutes at HamCam total since August. 14 minutes. So, again, another reason for people to not whip out the Vaseline and start stroking it to any of the young kids. All right?
Prospects. Any young kids, prospects.
It's illegal, first of all, but not your own household. It's not. But it's
illegal.
Still
illegal at your own household. What are you talking about?
Well, not if you're just looking at pictures. All right.
100%. It happens. Don't do it, guys.
The point being is don't get yourself all worked up and excited about young kids who, like when Kobe Hernandez Foster went over, we were like, this kid's good. He's good. This is going to be good, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's not good. He couldn't play for HamCam. HamCam. All right. At one point,
Jose Lopez says this is depressing, Derek.
I'm sorry, but you guys got to know. You got to know so you can put these people aside, right, and move on.
We're stroking it to young kids. LOL.
Chris Gloucester. Remember Chris Gloucester? Remember when he was in Holland? Everybody is all, Chris Gloucester. He's going to be a good one.
In fairness, he was at least 18 at the point.
Yes, I think he was. And no, he's now part of what's called the MLS pool. Those are players that the MLS signs and put in a pool in case any of the teams have lots of injuries and they need an emergency replacement. Actually, having him in the pool is nothing more than a gift to fucking Chris Gloucester. Christian Kappas.
Wasn't he an FC Dallas guy?
I think he was at one point.
Maybe Dallas can pick him back up.
They don't want him. He went and played in New York and never played. They got rid of him in a season. Christian Kappas is still at Bronte, but he might want to think about leaving because he barely plays. Remember Christian Kappas? Nobody was stroking it to that guy, but hey, he was in the fucking men's national team picture, right? What's going on with Josh Winder and fucking Benfica? Someone give us an update. Somebody tell us something. There's got to be some news coming out of fucking Benfica about why this kid never plays for the 2 team. Has played like 3 games all fucking the whole time he's been there, been on the bench otherwise. And sometimes he doesn't even make the bench. What is going on at Benfica?
Is that Benfica or Benfica 2?
It's Benfica 2.
Okay.
But his contract...
That's even worse then, right?
No, but his contract's still with Benfica.
No, I'm saying that's worse that If it was Benfica and he wasn't playing, okay. But if it's Benfica 2 and he's not playing,
you're not playing for them either. And you know, this is a kid that a lot of people are like, oh yeah, give him a couple of years, he'll be starting for Benfica. Nope. He can't even start for the fucking 2 team. Other players that you might know without a contract, Mix Discarud. Remember him?
I feel like he should be retired at this point, man. How old is he? He's gonna be like in the low to mid 30s at this point, right?
Yeah, he's in his 30s. He's probably got some more to give. Bill Hamid was let go by his USL team. Joe Guy has no club.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Remember there's the time when Hamid had told Berhalter that he was better than all the other goalkeepers being called in.
Right. Now he can't even find a USL team. Or he gets cut by a USL team. Dom Dwyer. Remember the brief moment he played for the U.S. men's national team?
Yeah.
Yeah. Josie Altidore. I mean,
Dwyer was English. Ended up picking U.S. because he married into it?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, he still had to become a citizen even after he got
he's
married.
got to go through the whole step process, yeah.
And boy, people at the time were like, yeah, Dom Dwyer, that's a great idea. Well,
I mean, who was our strikers at the time, though?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot to pick from. Yeah,
it was like Josie at the time.
Yeah.
Zardis.
Speaking of Josie still hasn't, surprise, found a club that wants to sign him. Can you believe he goes on that show with Dempsey and he's like, yeah, I'm still considering Europe. Yeah, but they're not considering you, motherfucker. You can consider them.
I'm considering winning the lottery.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyhow,
hasn't quite picked me yet.
I mean, if you really look at it, he's not that old, Josie Altidore. He theoretically should have some juice in the tank. Still left, but he doesn't. Josh Cohen still doesn't have a club. Remember, he played in over in Israel. William Yarborough, who played briefly on the U.S. men's national team under Klinsmann, has no club.
In Mexico, if I remember correctly.
Yep, and then he came to MLS. That didn't work out. Matko Miljevic, a Argentinian American, came to MLS. That didn't work at all. And everybody had this young kid touted as like great Argentinian American athlete. And of course, he played in Argentina. So they thought maybe there's something going on there. But he's probably going to go back to judo or karate or whatever else. He's like a judo karate world youth champion or something like that. Memo Rodriguez has no club. Another brief. People talked about him as a U.S. men's national team guy. And that is all I've got for the depressing part of the show. But just you guys got to know.
I'm going to bring you back up, guys. Don't worry about it. Seriously.
I mean, you got to know. You got to know, right? So if you don't know, then you might ask yourself one day.
Who is Memo? Who?
Memo Rodriguez.
Who? I think that's who he's going to.
He used to play for Houston, I believe.
Yeah.
But at some point, people were talking about, you got to cap him. You got to cap him. This is way back. Got to cap him. He's Mexican-American. You got to cap him.
We're on that whole dual net panic again. Like, we need an intro for it.
Dual net panic time. Cap him now. Cap him now. Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got, Brett? I can do Yanks abroad too, but we kind of covered a lot of that.
We'll pause that because that'll take us into the Pulisic topic, anyways.
Okay.
I do want to throw in a bit of fluff here.
Okay.
We talk about starting up another podcast, another show called Two Fat Foodies.
Two Fat Foodies.
And you'll never believe who we might have lined up.
Who we got lined up?
First invite.
The real Ronaldo.
Look at this. Because when I think of an intro to a club,
yeah,
you know, the little promo videos you send out to your people. There.
It's not going to be the real Ronaldo.
Chivas.
Oh, he's doing food. Is that like a barbecue?
Pew, pew. Hey, come on, man. What is this intro?
I'm here. Vamos Chivas.
Who made this? You think Chivas made this? What the fuck is that language? That's not even in English. That's like Russian. It's like Cyrillic. What the fuck? And that shit gross. What is it that he's eating? It doesn't look like a taco.
This all seems so super stereotypical. Like, hey, we got some limes over here. I don't know what that is.
Well, no, that shit in the bowl looks like coleslaw.
English. It's in English. You know?
I'm here. Vamos Chivas.
He couldn't even say "I'm here" in Spanish. Man, his Spanish is so rudimentary. He couldn't figure out how to say "I'm here" in Spanish. I'm here.
My goodness.
I thought they would require him to say it in Spanish because of Chivas' long history of being a proud Mexican-only club. You would have thought they would have said, "Man, motherfucker, you can't say I'm here. You're gonna have to say it in Spanish. How do you say I'm here in Spanish? You mean you don't know how to say I'm here in Spanish? Nope. Okay, Cade, we got a lot of work to do."
Well, that's what they're talking about whenever the dual nap panic went into fruition with him. It was like, we've got to cap him because Mexico's looking at him. Well, he doesn't speak a lick of Spanish.
Well, regardless,
he might
of
now.
that,
I don't know, but
Spanish part isn't his problem. He's a one-trick pony, and everybody in Mexico is about to figure that out, right? Just like they did with who? Sebastian Salcedo, one-trick pony. And even Greg's being real about it. The Marachi, holy shit, I'm crying. Yeah, it's so stereotypical. It's hard for me to believe that Chivas made this. Crazy. Crazy. Surprised they didn't have a burrito there instead of a fucking sandwich or something.
Oh, no. God,
I'm surprised they didn't make him wear a fucking sombrero. Seriously. I mean, how stereotypical are we going to get here?
We talked about the depressing point, guys, of the players without teams, and we're bringing you down. And fortunately, while Derek was going through the litany of people who have no clubs that were former starlets, I was scrolling through Twitter. I'm like, "Ooh, look at this! What's this?" And it's like,
wow!
All right, this will bring us back up, guys.
Chivas, you got to do better. You got to do better than that.
All right. Jumping into whole Yanks abroad thing, we've talked about a number of players. Of course, we talked about Dortmund. We talked about anyone else besides Dortmund?
Yeah,
we talked about Juventus, but that was a Thursday show too, though.
Well, they don't play till tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but Sargent played this weekend.
Yeah.
He went 61, and they won. He didn't contribute a goal, but that guy works. I'll tell you that much. I would have liked
making the team look better. 100%.
He didn't touch the ball enough, and so if that's the way they're going to play, he'll get back and play defense and shit. You're like, why are you going that far back? But then there's no outlet when they gain possession, right? He's trapped in the back with everybody else. So we'll see. I'm sure he'll get better as he gets more into this, but that was probably not his best game. Brooks, we mentioned in the 18, they played Bayern. I did hear that Matarazzo said something about, because two of the starters didn't start in this game, two of the center backs. And Matarazzo went off about how great the two guys that he did play have been in training lately. And he thought that they would have a better shot against Bayern. Well, they didn't. They got their asses kicked. Novakovic, guess what? Good old Novakovic went another 90. He got another goal. Wow. What's going on with Nova all of a sudden?
We woke up finally.
They still lost.
I'm still a professional soccer player. I better do something.
Yeah. That's with Lecho. Justin Che, another guy that's like, where the fuck did that guy go? Wasn't he just talking about, hey, German national team, look at me.
Germany. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess what? He's at ADO in the second division of Holland. And he doesn't play hardly at all, but he got 20 minutes in this one. 20 minutes in a second division Dutch team. That's almost a beer hall team. All right. Also down in that second division in Holland for Dordrecht, John Hilton went 90 and Osadina went 75 in a win. And by the way, Dordrecht are in fourth, so they're fighting for one of the promotion spots there in Holland. Conrad. Oh, Conrad, we love you, but you only played 6 minutes again. for Ibar. And everybody thought, oh man, he's gonna go with Ibar. He's gonna smoke some motherfuckers and come right back up. Nope. The only one getting smoked is Conrad. All right.
I mean, the kid's clearly talented enough to get more than 6 minutes. I feel like it has to be something.
Well, we've talked about it here. We talked about his tude. How
many teams do you have to go through before you realize, I need some people to come into my life and tell me how bad I'm actually being here.
Look in the mirror. That's all I got to say. Got to look in the mirror on occasion. If everybody around you is saying, hey, man, you need to make some changes, and you're like, you're not going to change me. I'm who I am. You can't change me. Maybe you need to take a look in the mirror and go, wait a minute. Maybe I should change.
Yeah.
That's like all the stupid fucking music out there today about, you can't change me. I am who I am. Fuck you. Man, some people need to change, man. You got to listen, though. You got to listen to other people. Everybody around you telling you you're a dick, you might want to consider maybe you might be a dick.
Maybe I'm not the dick. Maybe you're the dick.
That's how those kind of people think, though, right? I'm working hard enough. You're the one not working hard enough. All right?
I ain't getting respect. No, I get no respect. No respect.
Jose Lopez for $2. Bucio goal. All right. Yeah, so Bucio scored the goal for Venezia and Tessman and Bucio. Tessman didn't score, but he went the full 90 as well. And they won. And so they're holding on to the 2 spot.
I think we as a fan base can come up with a chant for Bucio when he finally realizes his talent and it shows Derek what's what. But I feel like when he gets to that point and he does well, we need to incorporate a chant from the movie Hook. I know, Derek. I know we had this conversation a handful of months ago. We're like,
how you remember all these movies?
Hook. Nobody's seen Hook. Well, that was wrong. But the main Lost Boy, the one who took over for Peter Pan when he left, called Rufio. And when he comes flying in, they're like, Rufio.
I think
put Bucio in there. It's Bucio.
No, I just think when he wins and he scores, you just do the Bucio and have it roll into the word goal. So it's Bucio goal.
Bucio.
It's one big long word. Actually, we're spending way too much time on a guy that has been off and on as a starter and had a mostly rough season.
Hey, he's going to be in Serie A next season.
And I will be really curious to see if he plays, if they are. All right. Jedi, 90 minutes and a loss. Reem, back in the 18 for the second game in a row. Here is a little hint that he might not be coming back and starting right away because Tosin and the other dude, whose name I forgot, are playing so really good together. I don't know if you get rid of that tandem when they're playing this well. So we'll see. Could be a fight. Haji writes is injured buttocks. Jesse Negron, $4.99. Thank you, brother. Or did he tell us how to say his last name and we're getting it wrong? Negron? No, we're getting this right. We're getting this one right. $4.99. Can you guys give your most valuable relationship advice? I wouldn't ask me for that necessarily. I mean, I am the divorce guy here, but the biggest thing is you just really can't be a selfish asshole. And it depends on what kind of relationship we're talking about. If it's a marriage, it's a girlfriend.
Yeah. It could also come down to the relationship status as far as just picking the significant other, whether it's girlfriend or marriage and stuff like that. And I think as much as we joke, but personality goes a long way, quite frankly. Not your personality, but their personality. And if you don't mesh with them well enough from the get-go, it's not going to work out long term.
And one thing for sure, you got to be confident and you got to be comfortable in your own shoes, because no chick, at least back in the day, wants to go out with some uncomfortable fucking nervous wreck. All right? So you got a
sense of humor goes a long way with the ladies. I mean,
right.
you can make up for a lot of lack of looks with a sense of humor.
Sense of humor, confidence, very important, and not false confidence. Not that kind of I'm gonna have to pretend I'm confident, because that does not work.
Evie always tells me, she goes, "Motherfucker, if I had just like 10% of your confidence, I wouldn't be married to you right now.
And how you have that much confidence is totally beyond me. But all right.
I don't give a fuck. That's why.
Right. No, I mean that's important too.
Fuck.
If you give too many fucks, that comes off bad as well. Like, if you're really desperate for some chick, that's not going to work out.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a level playing field. And you got to be confident. You got to be yourself. And when I say be yourself, don't be yourself as an asshole, then go fix yourself. We just had that conversation.
Yeah.
But confidence doesn't mean you have to be a dick either.
A huge bank account and a prenup.
That is that's the easiest way to go.
Yeah.
Huge
you don't need a
bank
personality.
account.
You don't need a sense of humor. You don't even need looks. Just huge bank account. You're good to go. Whatever.
And you can still be an asshole too, right? If you got a huge bank account, and you can even have a tiny little penis and still get chicks if you got a huge bank account.
Yeah.
Women love charcuterie boards. Okay. Well, some do. Some women aren't into meats. And if they're really into sliced meats, you might want to consider that being a bad thing, right? Mm-hmm. She's into slicing sausage that much. You might wake up one morning and shit may be missing. Jesse Negron says Negron is right. Jesse is like Jose, but instead of an O, it's an E, like Hesse.
Hesse.
Oh, okay. Hesse Negron. So he did correct us at one point, and I forgot.
We're getting this language barrier down.
Yeah,
no,
more than Kate Callis. All right.
We just need a mariachi band playing behind us when we do this stuff.
Jesus. Well, there was that one time I went to college and in Indiana, and I was really tanned because it was summer, or the summer was just coming to an end. And I got there and I looked a little lost. It's my first year. And some guy came up to me out of a building, and he's like, "Hey man, are you looking for this meeting right in here?" And I looked at the sign and it said Hispanic Cultural Center. And I was like,
yes,
no, I'm not. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You look like maybe you're looking for." No, I guess I look really tanned, really tanned. All right. Not that there aren't very Caucasian looking Mexican people as well.
Everybody Hispanic, yeah.
There are. Yeah.
Yeah.
You went to college once, just once, twice, 3 times a lady. Hot Derek.
Derek just decided to live in the college town at the end of it. He's like, whatever, it counts, right?
Yeah, I did. I stayed. Yeah, I was hot once. If you've seen old pictures of me, I was a good looking guy. This is what happens when you get older. You get ugly. It's just how it works, guys.
That's what I look forward to.
All right. Brett even knew me when I was better looking. All right. Let's see. We got Holmes. Dwayne Holmes went 46.
Yeah.
Gooch is still injured. DK went in.
Damn. Fuck. Nope. He's injured again?
Yeah, he's been injured for a couple weeks. DK, 12 in a win. Paxton Aronson didn't even he was in the 18, but he's not going to play anymore this season, guys. If he does, it'll be like tiny minutes.
Derek, here you go.
Damn, that makes me nervous, Derek. What part?
I'm getting older.
Dude, your ears keep growing, your nose keep. Go look at. You can find young pictures of me online in my band and stuff. Look at how much bigger my nose is now than it used to be. Seriously.
Unfortunately, it's the only 2 body parts on your body that continues to grow with age.
Your ears and your nose.
I mean, it couldn't be another body part, really.
Yeah, but at my age, I really don't need that to grow any more than it is.
Yeah. Derek's there like, all right, I'm getting kind of bored of this. Come on, man.
I prefer smaller.
It's getting ridiculous.
I have to use a whole fucking container of Vaseline every time. All right. So then we got Timmy Chandler's injured. Brendan Aronson got 69, as we mentioned. 69.
Guapo, Richie.
You got it. Paredes is injured. People are like, "Oh, I'm really concerned about Paredes not getting any playing time." He's injured. He has a bruised left testicle. He'll be back. Maloney, 90 minutes and a tie. And man, they're like 9th or 8th in the table now. Who would have thought that about Heidenheim at the beginning of the season?
As we talked about, like it's a town of like it was like 50,000 people.
Oh yeah, it's small.
And you have a Bundesliga 1 team on there. I mean,
yeah,
that's just fascinating, right? Mm-hmm. How did you possibly do that?
It's like when Hoffenheim first got into the Bundesliga. They were just a village. They were like, what the fuck? But then they went out and recruited all the surrounding little villages to support them as well and built a big-ass stadium. All right, what else we got?
Hold on real quick before we jump on. Digital HD technology, and somebody else also mentioned as well, but McKinney's not playing tomorrow for Juventus due to yellow card accumulation.
Mm-hmm.
So he's out, but we still got
Weah. We're still going to watch for Weah. Also, we got Luca De La Torre, the last 10 for Mallorca versus Mallorca.
Yeah.
It was really
it was a draw, wasn't it? It was a draw, right?
It was. But the guy who scored for Mallorca against him was Kyle Larin. Kyle Larin. Yeah. Kyle Larin sighting. Johnny Cardosa. I told Tack this was going to happen because Tack was really excited about Johnny jumping straight in the starting lineup and getting minutes. Nah, he was in the starting.
His tune changed in his most recent Yanks Abroad segment.
No, did he?
Yeah. When he was over at Insert Club here in Brazil, he was he wasn't in season, and so he came here. He's got to get back into form,
because coming back from vacation.
Yeah,
but I mean, I kind of warned that probably not going to happen. He's going to have to sit a few games probably. So far, he is set for a couple, maybe just one. I think, yeah, just one game.
He wasn't ready for one, and then this is the first time actually sitting for one. Yeah.
Here's something that's annoying, Brett.
Well,
I didn't know this, but Club Bruges, their 2 team, used to be called Club Bruges 2. They changed the name of it to Club Next, and I fucking not shitting you. Like, did they get together?
Owned by an MLS team?
Yeah, you would think. It's repulsive. Don't call your
Bruges next team. Hey guys,
don't call your fucking 2 team anything next or whatever. That's all fucking propaganda. Nobody wants to hear that shit. Just call it Club Bruges 2 and get on with it. Quit trying to be fucking unique or fancy or look like, oh yeah, this is where you go. You go to Club Bruges, Club Next. Because guess what's next after that? You get to play for Club Bruges.
MLS, it's Next Pro, and then it's Pro.
90% of those kids will never fucking work out, so quit jerking their chain. All right. Caleb Stanko, remember him?
Yes, I actually do.
Yeah, he's in Greece still. He got 20 minutes for Lamia. That's playing at the highest tier in Greece. Lund went 77 in a loss for Palermo.
How they doing?
They're not doing good. Not lately.
B.
Not lately. They are not doing good.
Palermo is currently sitting 7th. Martino's in 2nd place. Venezia is in 2nd place, though.
Yeah, I know. That's the good news. Ventura Alvarado. Remember him? He played CB for Klinsmann. He went 82 for Mazatlan. And you know what? He came to MLS, and that shit didn't work out at all. Inter Miami did it. He barely played. Jonathan Gomez, 90 minutes from Miranda's. And then we've got Reggie Cannon went 90 for QPR. Kelman didn't even make the bench. Sabi, a goal. Again, we're going to have to start talking about Sabi again. Because not only is he playing and starting, he's scoring. This is against Lyon, too, for Le Havre. Scally went 90. Pifak, 24 and a goal. That put away Stuttgart, who's near the top of the table. So that's a big, big win for Gladbach. We already talked Bucio and Tessman. And then in Mexico, Jason Flores and Sergio Aguayo rode Pine for Pachuca for 90. Joe Corona was in the 18 for Tijuana.
Joe Corona.
Can you believe that he's still playing? Zendejas.
Yes. I mean, it's kind of surprising, but yes, it's very surprising. That
it's shocking. Zendejas, 22 for America, and he got an assist and a win. Yep. And then Efren Alvarez was the guy. He was actually playing against Efren, who was on the bench. Actually, no, not playing. He's playing against him, but Efren never got off the bench. So there you go for who was the team they were playing. Fuck. Anyhow, Efren Alvarez, remember him? Gotta cap him now. Panic, cap him now, cap him now. Okay, yeah. Can't even get minutes in on his Mexican team. And I was an LAG fan, and I told everybody, this kid is not that good, and he eats way too many Twinkies.
Well,
So-
that'd be the thing, though. If he didn't need the Twinkies, he could have been good.
I don't think so.
Could have been. He had some talent there. We saw him in the for the Galaxy 2 team doing okay-ish.
Really?
And then I'm just saying.
Why are you stroking this kid?
I ain't stroking no kid. What are you talking about?
I just don't understand. Why?
I'm building the picture as far as what happened back in the day, the handful of years ago. Why people were stroking. It sounds really weird when talking about a kid still.
And I was telling people back then, stop it. He's
It's
not
illegal.
that good.
Let him grow.
I am an LAG fan. I watched him play. No, he's not going to be anything that big. And yes, I mentioned he eats too many Twinkies.
I like how our chat has turned into parroting songs from the 90s here. We got I made the joke about the Jojo Corona, but
yeah,
who said that Corona.
Yeah,
and then Al Weinstein goes, "Efrain in the membrane."
Fernando Arce. Remember him?
What was the name again?
Fernando Arce.
No.
Son of the amazing keeper for LA Galaxy. His father, Arce, as well. And Arce. Oh, he was the little midget guy that played goalie for Mexico.
What do you say? No, then what do you say his name is?
He was a little midget guy, Arce, back in the 90s, who played for LA Galaxy and the Mexican national team. Played goalkeeper. And could play anywhere else on the pitch, too. Because occasionally he played as an outfield player. Can't remember his first name. Arce. Somebody will know it.
I didn't think Arce was his name. He played for Chicago for a number of years, for a year or two there. If it's the same kid I'm thinking of, the guy you're talking about.
Guy, not a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyhow, his son, Fernando Arce, plays for Necaxa. Yes, Necaxa. And he went 90 in a win for Necaxa. So those are the
Jorge Campos. Are you talking about Jorge Campos?
No. Yes, you're right.
That's the only guy that I can think of when you start describing him.
Well, then who is the Arce that played in the
I
United
don't know.
States?
That's what I was like, I don't know.
Well, we could probably wiki it.
Probably could. I'm not going to, and I feel like somebody in the chat's going to get it here. I did want to cut the channel back a little bit to some of the. Sorry, I'm looking at the chat while I'm reading this, saying this. Some of the Yanks Abroad games here, and I did want to go back to the PSV with Dest.
Oh yeah.
And I told you this in the pregame or pre-show, but here you go. Here you go, Eric. This is what you're talking about.
Rui Diaz Arce. That must be what I'm thinking of then.
And he's a Salvadoran.
Oh, no fucking shit. So that's the dad of Fernando Arce? And there's another Arce brother, too, in the lower leagues of Mexico. All right.
But watching some of recent of the Mini Desk game playing for PSV, and I know we've talked about this in the previous camp when Pulisic and Weah were both injured. But I'm really starting to lean more and more into if Pulisic and Weah go down again, then I think Dest really has to be our next wing option.
Yeah, but then you could say you don't have to do that because you got Sargent and you've got you've got Haji Wright.
That's true, but I feel like Dest would even be better in that situation than those two.
Might be.
I think he'd almost when comparing the type of players, he'd be a solid replacement for Pulisic as far as the type of player that he is.
I guess you wouldn't have to worry about his defense that much. And then you unfortunately listen. I like Joe Scally, but lately he's been playing as a right center back for Gladbach.
Don't go Berhalter on me.
But he doesn't provide much on offense. So if you put him back there, he's not going to give you much offense. He's just going to give you a solid defense.
It's fine. It's fine to have a back who is in fact stays back more. We don't need both of our backs hurling up the field. You know.
I think I'd still keep Dest right back, and I'd put Sargent out that right winger spot. That's what I'd do. But that's me. Or I put if it was Pulisic on the left, I'd go get Haji Wright.
Or I maybe throw Dest out right, take over Safe Way is injured. You throw Dest out right, and then you have Scally behind him, and that way you don't have to rely on Scally or on Dest to get back at all.
Yeah.
So
I mean, either of them works. If you can do, but if I can keep Dest on the field while maintaining, it depends on who we're playing, right? If it's a team we're supposed to score a lot of goals on, I'd rather keep Dest at right back and play Sargent at right winger because that's a really aggressively offensive wing, right? You can have Sargent and Dest overlapping on that right wing. Not that Scally won't overlap, but he's just not going to provide.
It's not there,
Yeah, it's not going to provide the same.
That's why I was saying having him play the same side as Scally in that sense, because you don't necessarily need Scally to overlap to give that option for Dest, because Dest is going to have the ability to move forward anyways. He doesn't have to stay back. So
I guess my option, I prefer to have the option to overlap.
That's fair.
That's why I keep Dest.
I'm not saying that your decision is a bad one. I mean, I'm perfectly fine with playing Sargent out wide.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'd love to see it actually.
I'm just saying I'm leaning more towards that of having Dest play up when we have no wing options.
Yeah. What the fuck? Oh,
I don't know. What the fuck?
Sorry. Yeah. The sound came on my TV. All right. What else we got? We're running out of time. By the way, Fernando Arce's father is also named Fernando Arce. Neither have played in MLS. Then where is my brain making this up for? I've made up shit in my brain before. It has happened. But at some point, I must have made this up in my brain because to me, it's like lore, but it's untrue. You know when you've convinced yourself something's true because you thought it like 2 years ago or 4 years ago, but it's really not true. That was one of those moments right there. Doug McIntyre, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so you did talk about Pulisic during the Yanks Abroad wrap-up, right?
Yeah.
All right. Sometimes you just go through them so quickly that I just don't hear them all, especially when I'm looking at the chat and looking at other things.
No, I didn't bother to cover Pulisic because we already talked about him a little before. But if you want to cover him, Pulisic went, 70 whatever minutes?
79 minutes, yeah.
Entered
the 78th minute.
Had some great moments. And then fucking Musah had this, what could have been the most amazing golazo dribble through the whole fucking team goal I have ever seen.
Him and Weston, man. Him and Weston are just like, he's close to getting a goal in Italy.
At first, you're thinking, "Where's he going? Where's he go? Where's he going?" And then, whoop! Unbelievable! Great shit! Great shit! All right, Pulisic.
Good.
Pulisic wants to end his career in MLS and to reach new heights on home soil with the U.S. men's national team long before going to Major League Soccer. Max Bredos, are you there? Max Bredos, here.
Was a little Irish from our yes, I know.
Hello, Max. Are you there? You can take Pulisic off your list because he ain't coming to MLS for a long time. Not the near future. Not after the World Cup. And guess what? McKennie ain't coming either, brother. Take him off your list, Max.
Gio ain't going back either. This is the funny thing. We laugh about that list because other people have the same list. None of those three are coming back.
None of them. And he would actually, somebody was actually talking about what's the driving force behind McKennie and Pulisic, and both of them have come out and said it's to be the best and play in the best leagues. Mm-hmm. Why, unless you're nibbling fucking the ball sack of Don Garber, and I'm not accusing you of doing this, Max, but come on, dude, you cannot fucking X things like that. You can't Twitter shit that's just utter garbage. And then I'm going to have to call you out on it. And I like you, but I can't let it go untouched. Mm-hmm. Okay? All right.
Yeah. The whole argument is a farce. That's all it is.
And I just let them know on X so everybody can, if you want to go see it, I called out Max on X and I said, it looks like it's time to take Pulisic and McKennie off your list, Max. So we'll see if he replies. He probably, I don't know if he will or won't. He knows the fuck I am.
I mean, if Gio doesn't sign it doesn't sign for a transfer this winter, he's doing it in the summer, and then Weston's re-signing with Juve most likely. And then AC Milan just signed Pulisic. So in order for any of those three players to come back in MLS would mean that either MLS offered a ridiculous transfer fee that the other club says, "Oh, I can't deny," and then the actual player wants to go to MLS for that matter, or 2, the club gets rid of them, says, "Nope, we don't want you anymore."
And neither of those
all their contracts are going to that point.
Neither of those things are happening. And by the way, if Max was on our show again, because we've had him on the show, and he was on our show right now, I'd say it to his face.
Yeah.
Okay? And we would have an argument about it right here on the show. It is not personal. It's just when somebody says something, even if you like them, and it's just wrong, maybe I was caught off guard by Diego saying that it was a joke to Tact, the comment he made, because the more I thought about it, I'm like, I kind of let him slide on that. Kind of let you slide on that, Diego. I don't know if you were joking or not.
I don't know if he was or not. I don't want to sit here and second guess his motive behind that. And like I said, at the very minimum, they watered us under the bridge at this point with that.
Yeah, I get it. I don't want to bring it back up again, but my point is, I want to be honest on this show.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to pull any punches. I don't care who's on it.
Well, no, you beat me to my point. I was going to mention there too, because similar to what we talked about with Diego on Thursday, with the whole USSF and all that stuff, nobody's going to tell us who we can and cannot talk to. Right. I don't care who is liked and who isn't liked. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to bring them on. We're going to talk to them and have discussions regardless. I don't give a fuck. But
I saw people who put in the messages or whatever that I hate when Diego's on the show. I mean,
yeah, he's vying for another 15 minutes or something like that, stuff like that. Yeah, it's always in the chat when he's on. But you know what? There's more people in the chat that like him than don't like him, and it doesn't matter. Even if the whole chat, chat, if you guys were all against him at this point, I wouldn't care. I'd still bring him in because he's still fun to talk to, and he has insight.
Here's the thing about Diego that people should know: he is actually taking a step back. When I would lecture him when he was on our earlier shows about, hey, Diego, you can't say things like that because people don't know the difference between whether or not what you're saying represents something that McKenny thinks or it's just your opinion. And if you do have an opinion, you put it out there, you might want to make it really clear that it's your opinion only so you don't drag him in that. He's got it now. He's figured it out. It took him a while to figure out what the fuck I was saying, but he's got it now. So there you go.
B-Mar's got it right. TSRC doesn't care about the fans.
Honestly, we brought Diego on because we thought he might have some insight into, because of his connections with Wasserman, into some of the goings on.
Well, and like I said, to my point when I was like, hey, nobody's going to tell us who we can and can't talk to. But to that point also, we're also not going to hold back. So it was going to be awkward to bring it up. And you brought it up. You're like, hey, what's up with this whole sellout chill shenaniganry? You brought up a text.
Yeah,
we don't care. So I mean, if Max was on the show, we were covering this topic here, we'd be like, Max, you got to reel that back, man. I mean, I understand that. We all want to see MLS. Most of us want to see MLS succeed, want to develop and grow, and hopefully develop into a proper league. But you got to reel this back, man. There's no way one of those three are coming to MLS.
And let me
finish
the
2026 World Cup. Not gonna happen.
I didn't have to bring that up with Diego because I knew that Diego and Tact had already, snitted it back together or whatever. But I still thought that I should bring it up because I think it's only fair. I mean, he should have to have some sort of public account for what he said, and maybe explain why. Now he could have said, "No, I don't want to talk about that," and we wouldn't have talked about it. But I mean, live. But hey, man, it had to be done.
Remember when we obviously still like Jake a lot and everything, but you remember when Jake had the video clip of him kind of ripping into attack a bit?
Yeah.
We're just like, that's not the way to go, bro. Come on.
Yeah, we said, hey, that's not the way to go.
Nothing against you, man, but I wouldn't have done that personally. And
not that way.
We also leaned into. I mean, I leaned into more than you, I guess, but I really wanted the YouTube jabronis to really be about us. I really wanted that to be us.
Yeah, you definitely lean into that more than I did. I will say this: that I'd still have Jake on the show, even though
100%.
What he said about Tact. And by the way, it's not like I don't disagree with Tact. The number of things I've disagreed on him just this week have been numerous. But that we do that, but we stay in touch with those guys as well. We are friends. Friends disagree on shit. That's just how it goes. But you don't get personal about it. And that's kind of where I think Jake crossed the line there. He got personal. Like, you know, he put tact in this umbrella, right? That almost like a hater umbrella is what I would call it. You can't do that.
Well,
like
I think what he said as a whole wasn't necessarily a problem. Is the predicament that they were in as there's already kind of a split between those two.
Yeah, there was already stuff behind the scenes.
Poking isn't the way to go. I mean, like I said, if we poke fun at Pete and Tact all the time about saying the Dix Insider names and stuff like that. We put them on blast. That shit. We call them out. We watch clips and we call people out all the time. We do that with Jimmy. We do that with Max. We do it with everybody.
Yep.
And you know what? You guys are more than welcome to do it to us too.
Oh, like
we're never wrong though, so it doesn't matter.
Like they don't already do it. I get plenty of shit on this show, usually in the comment section. People making fun of me, but that's all right. It's all right. All right, so I think that's it for tonight, right?
Well, I do have the quote real quick. This is what he actually said. He goes, "Obviously, I'm not an old player. I hopefully have some great years in Europe ahead of me. I'm loving my time here. So, of course, MLS is not in my head at the moment. But yeah, at the
end of my career, at the end of his career, the end when he's crawling around on crutches and shit. Yeah, that's when he's coming to MLS. Max? Hello, Max. You catch that one, brother?
Hello.
So we'll see. But, hey, it's been a fun night. Thanks for joining us on fun night.
It is fun. It's been fun and short, as I'm saying.
Short for us lately. But
Chris Gary just got into the chat, too.
I think you need to, even though Otaku says some bullshit sometimes, you need to follow him, Brett. On the right there.
No, he's always on my feed, so I just assume I am.
Yeah, but that's only because he's sort of a leech. Somehow he crawls into everybody's underwear, but that doesn't mean you see it on purpose. Anyhow, thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you for the super chats. Make sure you subscribe. If you've been around and you've been here this long, please do subscribe. And it's really important. We're almost getting to a place where, I mean, we have our own little personal goals. So if you can help us get there, that'd be great. And do remember that sex with a cousin is in fact incest, but not the stepsister. So continue to do that and keep us posted on how that's all working out. I hope it's working out great. And until the next time on Straight Red Card, we love you. Good night.
She's a trap, she's an unsung novel, turn a lap and get your whole world dazzled on the line, or a phone call with or without wine.
That hurt.
Then what is this thing?
Gio should never play for U.S. men's national team again because of the action of his parents.
What an idiot! Oh!
What type of Muppet does this?
Muppets. Absolute Muppets.
I'm not going to be the best person to give a whole explanation here, but that's...